is up, everybody? What in the orca?
Sorry.
What the heck are you playing?
It's the Velociraptor resonating
Park.
chamber from Jurassic Park.
Ah, so you're just blowing my bones again. All right.
Yeah, two things. One, Galactic Armory released this file and they were like, oh, and we added a whistle to it. And I was like, oh, sweet. The sound effect in the movie was a sound effect, you know? It doesn't actually sound like that.
Yeah,
but what was cool was in the movie, it was 3D printed. It was like powder 3D printed in the movie. So I always thought it'd be cool to print one. They said it's got a whistle. It doesn't sound like it in the movie, what it sounded like in the movie. But I wasn't expecting a... That's... I was expecting something at least a little bit less train whistle, you know?
It needs a squeaker.
There you go.
Andrew Rogers, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
you so much for the Meaty Oreo Fund from Andrew Rogers, guys. Meaty Oreo Fund.
There we go.
Oh, bearded printer
stuff.
Neat.
Neat.
Thank you very much. Prototype resurrected dinosaur from China, but he didn't make the trip back.
We lost somebody wonderful today. Yep. Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill himself, passed away today. And I just happen to have this sitting right here next to me. It was not intentional, but
I thought you were gonna get into that when you were like, because I was like, oh man, that was big news. So Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. You don't hear it every day in the news. So,
which tying into our guest today, fun fact: Alan Grant has a Leatherman on his belt that is the exact same model and pouch of Leatherman that I had confiscated in China.
What?
So we'll get into that in a second.
let me just. First of all, you brought a Leatherman to China?
Look, man. I didn't know.
Second of all.
Anyway, sorry, I totally my sleep schedule is off by 12 hours, so
yeah, just a little, you know.
Welcome to HotMakes.
Everybody, thanks for being here. We got Sam with us today. That's Caleb's bunk mate for the last 8-day trip, as you probably saw on the thumbnail. Good or bad? I can't wait to get the sound effects of what that was like sleeping again. I mean, that was kind of the fun in the Remurf video, you know. I think you were moving furniture, is what Sam called it.
Yeah, moving furniture.
Yeah. But no, I can only imagine. I could only imagine wherever hotel you're staying in, they're running around yelling Godzilla. And
no, no, I can't believe you just said that. Oh no.
Well, I mean, like, seriously. What else?
Okay, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. The whole time I was there, so I have a coworker at my day job who constantly brings up that video of that blonde lady who's like selling like Murphy beds or whatever, and she sings that really like super racist "I Want to Be Ninja" song. I have that. So he every week when I think I forgot that song, he sings it, and then I get it stuck in my head. The whole freaking time I was in China, I had "I Want to Be Ninja" playing in my head, and I had to make sure that I didn't say it out loud on accident.
Yeah, that's funny. I got an idea. Hey, wait a minute. Layer by Layer has a great idea. Let's add Caleb's sound to the dino whistle. I think we should make Caleb sleep with that duct taped in his mouth. So it'll be like, whistling every. It'd be like, where's the train? Is the train coming?
You know what?
I snore too.
I might be able to make some money on OnlyFans doing that.
I'm leaving that there. All right. So the last 2 weeks ago we had Zach on, and that was an awesome show. Thank you guys for hanging out. We stayed quite a bit late for that one.
Yeah.
Today, Caleb, we might as well just jump right into it, right? I mean, you guys were on a trip, and you said, hey, we should have Sam on to talk about our partakings in China.
Yeah, so that actually happened. That happened at dinner. We were chatting with Brett, who's the CEO and inventor from Morpho.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he invited us out to dinner. We were sitting there chatting about things, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't, Zach Friedman was on, so I didn't talk a whole lot about the upcoming trip on that episode. But I'm going to talk a lot about it on this upcoming episode." And then I was like, "Hang on, why don't you just come on the show with me? Wouldn't that be a lot easier?"
Big Jano says it's Sam and Caleb's Excellent Adventure Part 2, Electric
Boogaloo. Yep.
Yes.
That's awesome.
All right. Let's just bring him in. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Boop. There he is.
Here he is.
I got words on my face.
You have got words on your face. Finally, I'm back on HotMakes. Can't believe it. I swore it would never happen again.
This is where it all
began. We wake you?
Yeah, all right. Midnight, 10 past midnight. When Caleb
thank you for staying up late to
no worries. I had a nap earlier. Caleb was like, "Hey, do you want to come on HotMakes?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "On Monday," and I was like, "Sure." And bear in mind, we only got back yesterday. Yes, I got back yesterday morning. So I'm kind of like,
okay. Hold up. Do you want to have some crazy mind bending time change thing go on? Are you ready for this?
Do it.
On Saturday, I flew out of Hong Kong at 4 p.m. Sam, what time did you fly out?
I flew out at 11 p.m.
So 5 hours later, right? Yeah. No. Math. Whatever. It was later that night, right? Okay.
7 hours, yeah.
7 hours later. So I flew out at 4 p.m. and Sam flew out 7 hours later. Sam got home while I was still in the air, but he got home at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. I arrived in Little Rock at 11 p.m. on Saturday night because I had a longer flight, but I was flying against time. So he got home before I did in the future. Isn't that weird? I told Sarah this and she just looked at me. She's like, "I'm so tired."
It was a full Back to the Future moment there, wasn't it? It was
yeah. Something else I realized, I flew east the entire time. So I went from Little Rock to Charlotte, North Carolina, to London, to Asia, and then I flew east out of Asia and flew over like California and all that to get back to Dallas and then back to Little Rock. So I literally did a full circle around the globe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Perfect full circle.
It's a perfect circle, you could say.
Yeah.
You told
well, I guess it was more.
Maynard
it was less around.
it
was less around the globe. I just did a full circle around the disc.
There you go.
Flat.
Hey, Tech Jeeper, thank you so much for the tokens needed to run AI Sam Prentice. We are prompting him what to say. So if you want us to have AI Sam Prentice say something so you can clip it, let us know. We'll
beans.
Tripod says, "Wait a minute, what kind of circle is this?" We'll put it this way, Tripod. There was 2 legs to his trip.
Amazing.
I'm gonna drop this AI into the Sam Prentice.
Chink.
There's the first coin. But
Thanks,
nice. Well, it sounded like you guys had an awesome trip. Just from watching like social media and stuff like that. And
you know what? It was a trip that nearly didn't happen, and I'm sure they won't mind us mentioning this. But so my contact at Morpho, we were obviously negotiating and to bring someone out from the US and to bring me out from the UK. And typically, if you're going to travel together, you'd be in the same country normally, right? And it'd be, "Hey, I'm coming out with my friend, and we're going to do this." And this was kind of like, for me, this was the trip that was supposed to happen a few years ago when I was working with Reality, and it unfortunately didn't happen. And Scott came out, and that was a whole different thing. But the play was always to bring Caleb out. That was always the pathway that I always felt that was going to be the way forward. So to do this was great. And anyway, I was saying to my contacts in Morpho, I said, "Listen, Caleb needs to give notice so he can take time off of his job."
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right.
To get out. And she was just like, "No, we're not going to be able to make this work." And I was just like, "Oh, this is so annoying." And I've got somebody in the US that's also kind of negotiating some stuff with Morpho and various other companies with me as well. So I've got like a go-between, and I was just like, dude, this isn't going to happen. I don't really understand what the breakdown in communication is, but it was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it was off. And then Brett, the CEO, is messaging me going, what's going on? And I was just like, dude, like, I don't understand what is happening here. Because anyway, what she put what I said into like a GPT, like an AI, and she thought I was saying that Caleb needed to quit his job in order to come and do this job.
She thought I was quitting my job for a 3-day shoot.
Yeah.
And completely like off the couch. And I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, so now it's happening. Of course, then Caleb, if you can tell him what happened when you put notice in to take time off with your boss.
Oh yeah. So I put in my time off request, and I was in a totally different part of the office for most of the day. I come back to my side of the office, and 2 of my coworkers were like, "Are you going to China?" And I was like, "Yeah, hopefully if I get my time off approved. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that though." And they were like, "You should probably tell Grant, who's our boss." And I was like, "Why?" And they were like, "He was in here about an hour ago laughing about how you put in a joke time off request to go to China, and he was going to deny it, and how you were joking with him."
Nice.
But I was like, "No, it's happening." I was like, "How sure are you that I'm not going?" He's like, "I'm about 60% sure that you were joking about that." And I was like, "Nope, prove it, please."
So good. Well, I mean, luckily you had some, right? To actually
Yeah. And he's like, "Caleb's the only person I know who uses all his vacation time to go do more work."
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was a pretty epic trip. So.
Oh yeah.
Because
once it got started,
highlighting the China bit, but you did actually come to London for a day as well.
I did, and it was all shifted back by a day. Do you want So I had a flight. Chicago had really bad weather the day that I was supposed to fly out, and my flight was delayed. My flight from Little Rock to my connecting flight in Chicago was delayed ever so slightly, but it was enough that I was going to land in Chicago 10 minutes after boarding closed for my connecting flight.
No.
And then it ended up being delayed further than that, like later on in the conversations. But basically, me not making it to Chicago for that connecting flight meant that I wasn't making it to London for the flight to China with Sam, which meant basically that one delayed flight cascaded and the entire plan had to change from there.
Yeah, there's me 1:30 in the morning getting a call from Caleb, and I'm rolling my eyes the whole time. Right,
he answered. He's like, "Hello, is everything okay?" I could tell he was in bed, like trying to be really quiet.
Yeah.
Post China unemployment fund. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an awesome trip. You, like you said, you got to go out to the UK, hang out with Sam, and then what?
That was my first international trip. I'd never been out of the US.
Oh, really?
So that was a heck of a way to
you just go to the other side of the world.
Yeah,
do a full circle around the world. Yeah. Spend 2.5 hours fighting with people who don't like fighting. Spend 2.5 hours in customs and immigration in China, trying to explain to them that I am supposed to be there when they can't understand a word we're saying.
Yeah. There was so obviously I travel to China quite often. It's kind of my thing now. It's a bizarre thing to do, and it's very privileged to be able to do it. But when we got to Heathrow, there's this lady, and she's checking our bags, and she's going through my stuff. And I said, look, I'll just do mine first, because the UK is very different, because we can go into China now for like 30 days, and Canada can as well. But the US, you still have to get what's called like a 240 visa, so 10-day visa. So I'm explaining to the lady, I was like, listen, he's got this, and this is what we're going to do. When we land, we're going to fill these forms in. It's all sweet. Don't worry about it.
They were supposed to take care of it while we were in the air, right? Like by the time we landed, I was supposed to have that visa figured out.
Yeah. So she was like, well, I need to speak to my boss. And I was just like, okay, listen, I can guarantee by the end of this conversation, we'll be going through security. Like, there's not going to be a problem here. I know exactly what we want. So this guy comes over, and he's just like, so what's going on? And I said, it's a 240 visa. We're going to do it. It went, oh yeah, that's fine. And it was just like, it was nothing, wasn't it? You know, we had this kind of this sort of stone wall with this woman saying, no, it's not going to happen. And I was like, well, you know what? Caleb can come and hang out with me for a week here. That's fine. You know, we can we fill our time. Don't worry about it, kind of thing. But yeah, like on the plane, and you know, it was a fairly bizarre trip. But I'd tell you what I'm missing more than anything, Caleb, and I think you'll agree. Chinese Red Bull. One of those right now.
Dude. Why did you have to introduce me to those? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about them a few times today as I've been dragging my butt around.
He's gonna be smuggling them in the US now.
I did come home with some weird Oreos.
Sorry, Trap. That sucks. Weird Oreos. Dude. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I was gonna open them on the show tonight, but I brought them home primarily for Sarah and I to share, so I don't want to crack them open without Sarah here. She's actually at work right now. But yeah, they're like the half and half flavor Oreos. They're half grape and half peach.
Nope. That's gonna be weird.
Got them at Happy Go, which was the little convenience store right next to the hotel.
I don't think we should hear about that story either.
Yeah. But that's where we got our flat bubblegum flavored Red Bulls.
Yep.
Oh man, what's so special about these Red Bulls?
Well, they're classified. Isn't it that they're classified as a medicine so they could be imported from Taiwan or something?
Yeah, so they come in from Taiwan. They've got some Chinese writing on it, but it's like a squat can. So Boy in Space kind of put me onto me. He goes, "Oh, we got to try these Red Bulls," and I was like, I don't really like. I in the UK, I don't typically drink Red Bull anyway, unless
I'm not a Red Bull guy either.
But the funny thing is like since trying that the first time in China, like if I see a Red Bull in the store now, I'm like, I need to get my fix, right? And it's even though it's really strange, but even though it isn't like a fizzy drink, so this stuff is a squat can. And it kind of is like a flat Red Bull taste. If you imagine it not having any, you know, fizz to it, so to speak. It's not, you know, yeah, there you go. There's So, you know, and you can import these things, but yeah, it's got a vitamin or a vitamin, as you guys probably would say, inside of it as well. So, it's for some reason it's okay for them to sell it, but it's one of those things. If you just need a quick pick me up, that was the way forward. But yeah,
what's crazy is like we kept finding new properties about the can. As we we realized for some reason the can was like uncrushable. It was like super thick walled, and it wasn't aluminum either. It was like I realized it was magnetic. I was able to stick my camera to it too. I don't know what was going on with the can, but they were. I know.
What you're saying is you were drinking out of lead.
Basically, yeah. Like
yeah, just straight lead. It's actually lead bowl, but they write red.
Lead bowl. There you go. All right, I really like that. I apted that.
I'll tell you what, you know,
when I first got that US,
wait.
Sam surprised me with a nice little energy drink as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the You know when you got it bad, because I know for a fact, Caleb, that I left a can of the Red Bull in the hotel room, and ever since then I've been thinking about that can of Red Bull. And I know I bought one, and I'm like, oh man, that really sucks that that's in that fridge somewhere. You know, it's I don't know.
Customs know about these Oreos.
Nobody so when I got to Dallas and I went through customs for like I had to collect my bag and take it through customs and then recheck it, right? I went through customs perfectly fine. Nobody stopped me.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bag search or anything. Honestly, it was weird. On my way back into the US, my passport wasn't scanned once. They took a photo of my face when I first got off the plane, and that was it. My Face ID was enough. Like going into London and going into China and then moving into Hong Kong was like my passport was my everything, right? And then I get back to the US and they never even scanned it.
And that was a bag that you remembered to take with you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, on the bright side, you got your passport in time this time.
Yeah, and I got a few stamps on it too.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So my first stamps.
So let's talk about the the meat and potatoes. What you guys went out there to check out Morpho, and I mean, I met the guys that were at Murph, and they seemed awesome. Brett seemed like a really cool dude, super freaking smart, by the way.
Yep.
I believe
he's very funny too. If you give him a chance to just kind of like sit and listen to him chat with people, he throws some jabs out there every now and then that are pretty funny.
Some good ones. Well, and not only that, but this might sound familiar, right? Another DJI guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
that's not even half of it actually, because Caleb's right, because there is an element of humor. So we get there, obviously we're a day late now, but we get there, we've got all our gear, we're pulling everything in, and we're like, we got to hit the ground running. You know, we really have to get this. You know, we've got less days now. This is going to be a bit of a crunch shoot.
Sure.
So we get there and we're like, we're going to film 4 videos, and then they were like, no, you're going to film 1 video. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then in that case, then like there were a few ideas that have been thrown around. You know those like I can only sort of liken it to like the Creality advert where there's like some random dude that probably has never 3D printed in his life, right? And the song is like, and then he's got a model aeroplane, and he's looking at, oh my god, look, what's the possibility? And I was like, I want to film that advert, but I want to be the guy.
The whole time they're operating the machine while them and the machine are facing the camera, like they're standing behind it.
Yeah. So we ended up, so we did this whole amazing thing with Brett. Where we did the interview and we went around the factory, and we're not really a factory, their R&D department mainly, because there's no factory at the moment because they're not making these things yet, because the Kickstarter hasn't progressed. So once we know where
they have some factories lined up and like ready to mobilize.
Yeah. So we get there and I'm like, I want to do this whole thing. I've always dreamt of being the advert guy, right? So we were laughing about that. And there was a few other ideas we threw around. Anyway, Brett, I say, look, Brett, we're going to do the interview today. You know, we've got to get this all sorted out. And he goes, do you mind if we do the interview tomorrow? And I'm like, sure. Like, why? He goes, I'm not feeling very well today. And I was like, okay, well, none of us really are. We're all jet lagged and, like we dragged ourselves here, basically. I said, oh, God, what's wrong? And he goes, I didn't sleep very well last night. And I was like, okay, are you okay? And he goes, well, basically, I was so excited about you coming, I couldn't sleep. And
which is immediately like a little like crumb of what this guy's person, like he's a very wholesome and like sweet person. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. So the fact that he wasn't able to do the interview because he just couldn't sleep, he was so excited that we were coming in, was like it was.
But the snippet that you got from him, Jim, he's a really likable guy. And this is the funny thing about Morpho as a business, because these guys, you buy from people. That's probably one of the reasons why people, these companies use KOLs or, influencers or whatever you want to call it, content creators to ultimately sell product to subscribers, etc., etc. It's an amazing platform, but spending a time with Brett and anyone that's spent time with him at Murph or any of these other events, they're all saying the same kind of thing. I had questions, he answered them. There was no hiding behind anything. And if you look at any of the other businesses that are doing pretty much practically anything else, there's never a face behind it. And to go, well, that's the guy who had the idea. And we got to understand exactly where UV printing came from, because as we spoke briefly about it earlier, when an idea comes to the marketplace, and let's be fair, HotMakes were the first with the UV printer, and that became a thing, right? And that was born off the back of a failed Kickstarter campaign with their 6-changer 3D printer thing that they were going to do. Never happened, right?
You remember when HotMakes made 3D printers?
Exactly. So you
mean HotMakes?
HotMakes, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So, you had that kind of had that level of where you're at with that. But as I say, when you get into it and the reasons why he's doing UV printing, and then you see like Xtool and Hey Gears and other manufacturers are kind of getting involved with it. Now, I don't know about you, Jim, but I had probably like 4 weeks ago, and it's fairly unique to have this, like a meeting, an online meeting with the Morpho team. And I was like, what's this all about? And I know Ross from False Hammer also had the same meeting, but they were meeting with people to explain what the machine was and actually sort of see if it was a good fit, if you're interested in sort of backing it. Because what I don't want to be doing now is having 4 UV printers arriving at the house and then me being an expert on all the printers. I'd rather sort of select one that I've got belief in and I can get behind and I can use, and all that kind of stuff, rather than having just this ongoing onslaught of machines. And the wider issue is that they break, you can't do anything with them, you end up throwing them away or giving them away or whatever. Yep. So and obviously we'd finished the HotMakes promotion. Now that's kind of done. You can see that there's some pivoting and changing now with their marketing strategy with inks and various other bits and pieces there. But we sat down and I spoke to Brett, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I got a good feeling about this, and we spoke quite a long time about that. And then I then see that they're going to Murph, so I was like, hey, well, we can do something at Murph. Sure. Then we can come out and do something in China. Sure. And then now we're kind of like, they're also going to be at Open Source. They're going to be at 3D Printopia. They're very much dominating that area. But here's a really interesting thing. When we get to the site downstairs in the display area, there's a DJI drone down there. I was like, that's interesting. He goes on to say that building, after DJI kind of came out of their little warehouse, their home garage kind of setup, that was the first place that they set up shop. So the original Phantom and Phantom 2 and the products that Brett was working on was actually made and designed inside of that. Inside of where Morpho is currently. Cool. So which was pretty cool. But
not only that, but also there were some other pieces of technology of things that were invented and started in that building that were on display in that lobby. And he came down and he's like, a lot of this is me. Just casually. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice. Tech cheaper strikes again with the lead ball. Red Bull gives
you gravity.
Red Bull gives you gravity.
Dude, I love that.
Super cool. Thank you.
So real quick, before we get too much further too, I want to make it very clear and transparent up front. There was the whole trip and all this stuff. Morpho is not paying us to talk about them anymore. We did the trip, we've got the videos, all of that is taken care of, and it's going to be very difficult for Sam and I not to say nice things and just sing praises about Brett and the people over at Morpho and the machine as a result. But that's because honestly, truly, I had a genuinely good time, and the people behind this machine and this company are truly, actually awesome, wonderful people.
Nice.
It's not a they're paying us to be nice or say nice things about them. It's just genuinely this dude's awesome. Brett is awesome, dude.
Yeah. And there's so many layers to him as well. We won't get into the lettuce chat, but if you want to get in depth with anybody about how to grow lettuce,
talk to Brett about it.
Bizarrely, Brett is the man to talk about lettuce. And
but you know that excited moment when somebody tries to explain something for 2 seconds, and then they immediately give up and start grabbing their phone and shuffling through photos because they want to show you all the cool things that they made. That's what he did with lettuce.
Yeah,
it was awesome
with lettuce.
But what was interesting and how this correlates is when you're talking about UV printing, you're talking about use of color and how the color is put down onto whatever you're printing onto. And with lettuce, there is certain pigments of light that they will grow well with. So he has an amazing understanding, even going back to DJI with the cameras going into drones, the stereo system that's inside the Morpho system, everything that kind of, when you sort of boil down to it, his background and vision on how to make a product comes down to vision and also philosophy and belief. And he had these really strong views on UV printing being smelly and VOCs and really terrible for your health. I mean, really terrible for your health. I mean, we take things like 3D printing for granted. Oh, we're printing in this thing, and we're in here laughing, breathing in the sulfur. You're poisoning your body, right? And you're going to make yourself ill. And UV printing is that next step. It's one of the reasons that I don't do, resin printing, because it stinks and it's horrible, and you get it in your hands, and invariably I get it in my mouth somehow because I'm always licking my fingers or whatever. But there's this crazy process that we go through as human beings where we just allow ourselves to kind of poison our bodies. And Brett was like, well, his thing comes back to his kids. He bought a UV printer to do some stuff with his kids. He wanted to show his kids how to print, and it stunk, and the process was awful. So that's how he then came up with the idea. Now, interestingly enough, the fact that there's 4 or 5 different UV companies that have come to the market all of a sudden, it always strikes me. It's the same with CNC companies at the moment. There's 4 or 5 CNC companies doing the same thing. It's like, how is it that all of a sudden, how are we all of a sudden all doing tool changes? It just seems to have this kind of crazy way of working. But no, Caleb's right. No one's being paid to say nice things about people, but if you genuinely, I've got some strong belief into this product, and I love UV printing. I've got no issues with the UV Mate. In fact, it's packed up today, right? We can't print on the UV Mate today, so I've got to try and fix that, and I don't know how to fix it. And I've gone to the forums, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's just not printing at all. But ironically, this machine, the new machine, will be here on Wednesday, and I'll be as deep as you can get into that to make sure I can get that thing working. But there's a lot of care that's gone into what they're doing and what they're producing. Even things like when we saw like a black machine, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really nice." And he was like, "Well, we put it to a vote in the office, and there was a silver one and a black one." And he said, "We went with the white one, and the way it's curved is to make it look more human." And I'm going, "How deep does this go?"
I want to there's so much that I want to get into, but I don't want to the interview that we had with him. There was so much that came out of that, as far as even his thought process behind the name Morpho and the way the machine was designed. And there was, aside from the vote on the color, there was actually literally a psychological reason why they chose white for the machine that was focused on, and that ended up being the whole purpose of it was to focus on the creators, not the machine. And he goes into that a little bit more. And it's every element of it had some sort of deeper meaning that just kind of changed. It's not correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know what, Oofy make. I think it's just a word, but there's meaning behind a lot of this stuff. For Morpho and for Brett. And not only that, but the wholesome elements too. He picks us up from the airport, and we have to wait a second so that he can shift his car around and move his baby's car seat out of the way, so I have a seat to sit in. Just super there wasn't a corporate driver, and it was just Brett, and he was just happy to see us, kind of thing.
That's cool.
It was very I would say, out of all the trips I've had, very humbling experience to kind of see that they're trying to grow this business. He's got other business, he's got other patents, he's been, his public record that he's an inventor, he's a visionary, and but he's also a cool dude to hang out with. And if you wanted to go for a drink, I'd run out now. The guy is just a nice guy, and very excited, very personable. He's messaged me tonight. Good luck with the show. They've got a show.
That's awesome.
They've got a show in an hour and a half where I think they're going to do a giveaway of the
nice
stuff as well. So not to plug that too much, but I said I would. I was like, if they haven't asked me to do it again. After this show finishes, try and win yourself a Morpho printer. Why not?
So it's funny that he says that, because let's just say the Disney park rides in Hong Kong are smaller than the ones in the US. I got 2 things. I got my first seat check because we were about to get on the Space Mountain thing. And the guy was they had a version of the seat that was just sitting there next to the line, and he looked at me and he goes, "No, I need you to come over here and sit in this thing to make sure you fit before I send you in there." And he's just going off on, not going off, but he's just going on about, he's like, "Oh yeah, if you've already rode Space Mountain, this is different. Hong Kong Space Mountain smaller and tiny. Hong Kong Space Mountain tiny." Yeah, there it is.
Let's see.
Kind of.
I don't know if it's going to focus.
No, it's not going to focus. Oh, almost. There you go. Yeah, there's me trying to fit in the tiny little seat. It's kind of hard to see.
That's awesome.
But then later on a different ride in Toy Story Land or whatever it was, they didn't seat check me before we got to the actual cart. But then when I sat down, we couldn't push, like we were taking things out of my pockets so that there was more room to push the bar down. And then the poor guy was like, all right, I'm gonna push on this side, you push on this side, try to push the bar down to get it to click down over my fat stomach. And then eventually he's like, no, this will not work, it's the gut. And then he points away. And then he points for me to get out of the car, and I had to do the walk of shame, shuffling in front of people in the other seats just to get to the other side and just sit there. And then while they were on the ride, one of the other employees walks up and she's like, "Do you want a complimentary fast pass ticket for one of the other rides for you and your friend? I'm sorry."
Meanwhile, I'm still on the ride because I was like, "See you later. Don't worry about me."
But just the fact he was the employee was very straightforward. He's like, "Nope, it's the gut."
there was no coming back from that either, was there?
No.
I just
in the moment it was incredibly embarrassing. But
I caught a glimpse of your face a few times, and there was just this, there was almost this sad music kind of playing, in the background. It was Maybe we can reenact that right now.
We could, yeah.
We do have yeah. Hang on, we got the there you go.
What Caleb was really thinking.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, that's where I was going to. Hey, I can't say nothing. That'd be me on all the rides then if you weren't fitting. But that's pretty. That explains when we get T-shirts from China, and they're like 2X, but they're really size medium here.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say I'm extra medium.
Extra medium. There you go.
But so you guys got to play, and Joey, I know you're being quiet because there's a lot of us talking, but jump in anytime, man. I'm curious, like you guys got to play with this machine more than any of us now, right? And we saw some really cool things at Murph. Yeah, I saw that. That was super cool on the ends of the.
We printed on the one side we printed him crawling through the ducts, and then on the other side we printed his feet sticking out. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Is that on 3D prints?
No, that's the side panels. So we didn't even ask. We're like, let's just grab those side panels and stick them on. And then the guy was just like, sure. And they came back and I basically decorated the whole printer. So
that's awesome.
They were pretty open to just like, okay. We were like, can we print this on this thing? And they were like, sure. Do you need an extra?
Just to close the Disney thing off, by the way, it's a really important point. Caleb has only gone to Disneyland 2 times, and both times with me.
Yep.
Yep. We were at Disney Hong Kong, and he's like, "Have you ridden this ride before?" And I was like, "Sam, you know all the rides that I've ridden so far."
Like Caleb's Disney sugar daddy, basically.
Morpho upgrade from basic version to pro version is just a print head and station module swap should be done in 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. So
you asked him about that too. You asked him about like if you get the standard version and you want to upgrade.
Yeah. So they use like Epsom heads, print heads on these things. So the Morpho is different because it has a moving gantry. And I didn't really understand the importance of that until you start really getting into the machine. So, closing the doors, having the internal filtration, unlike other printers, it really makes a big difference. And they're also using their own custom ink, so the VOCs are a lot less. But also one important thing is they don't want to inhibit people from using, if you want to use your own ink and it ends up being the stinkiest stuff in the world, right. You can still use that. But what their aims are is, ultimately we don't want to hold back on people doing what they want to do with their machine. It's their machine at the end of the day. And there was a lot of like SKUs. You can go in on the wiki page, you can download elements, you can find out how the S bus works on the printer. You can make your own things for it. If you want to make a conveyor belt, you can make a conveyor belt. Here's all the information that you're going to need, and then you can make your own proprietary stuff. So
he was very clear too on like, he's like, we don't want to make all of the accessories. We want to leave some of the accessories for the community to make, and somebody else to possibly make a business or make some side cash on making their own accessories that they could sell to other people. He's like, we don't need to cover everything.
No.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. But they had the A3 bed, they had the static bed that I got very excited about. We used the rotary tool while we were there as well. This is all good stuff, and you can. And I drilled down. I got one of the engineers over because I was like, "What about Z banding?" And I was looking at how the machine goes together because we toured and we could see everything. And if something sort of struck me as, well, this would be a 3D printer problem, as in, you've got 4 Z rods, what happens when they start binding? How does the machine tell you that they need to be lubricated? All those things we know as people that do 3D printing. How does that work? And the guy came over and he was just like, well, here's all the information. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's super smart. He's not fudging it.
That was like, hang on a second. He walked out of the room and walks back in with the engineer who designed that component to explain it to us.
Yeah, there was no like, oh, let me think about that for a second. And then what I didn't tell you is he then found me on Instagram and wrote about 20 messages to me explaining that whole process. So not only
really,
he didn't come and find me in the building, he found me on the internet. Like bizarre, really bizarre.
I've worked with UV printers for years, and going to Murph, and they were right across from me, so I was hanging out with them a little bit, and I was blown away by how amazing their software was too, because I'm used to these. We just got a $70,000 machine, and it's an amazing quality. It's great, but the software is like nowhere near.
Yeah.
This, you're still dealing with white ink being a pain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Morpho, I'm like, it's crazy the barrier of entry. I don't know what the price is going to be at. I don't think we really know official number, but it's we do. I mean, I'm used to 3D or UV printers being like 30,000. Our first one at work was a 10-inch by 24-inch, and that was like a $32,000 machine.
That's a big building.
8 years ago.
The Kickstarter for the stock, the standard one is I think 1,600.
That's insane.
Yeah, it really is. And then they're running Kickstarter, so there's going to be discounts and all that rest of it. But you're right. And the thing is, I say this quite a lot in the videos that I make. If the process is difficult and if it's too difficult to learn, and Jim and I were just talking about CNC machines, learning CAM and learning how the software goes together. If it becomes a mission to actually learn how to do it, Xtool do it really well with layer lasers. You're step by step. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And it's kind of like the idiot's guide. Sometimes you just need that because you'll quickly do something. I'm going to run a laser through this thing, and it's important that you get it right. But when I spoke to Brett and Murph, I said, how many more iterations of this is there going to be before you commit to it being a hardware finish? And he went, we're done. And I went, really? He said, yeah. He said, it's the software now. So when we did the Murph video,
the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses. So it goes over the glasses, okay, and you'll see that it prints the Where's Sam, Where's Wally, or Where's Waldo glasses.
Yeah.
And you'll see that it goes over the whole thing, and
like a big rectangle over the glasses. Yeah.
So when we got there, they were really excited to show us that they'd worked on the software, and basically you can stereo vision, or you can take a snapshot, select the frame of the glasses, and only print on the frame. So you're saving ink. You're not overspreading onto other things already.
Right.
But
there was the tiniest little fraction. I would say less than 1% overspray. It was insane.
And
they made that change between doing the glasses but just printing over the glasses with a big fat rectangle at Murph to when we arrived in China. They made those changes, and he messaged Sam and was like, "Hey, have your cameraman bring extra glasses out because we think we added the feature to the software that'll help it out."
Oh, that's going to be huge, dude. I mean, even what they were doing at Murph, being able to take the object, drop it on, and then in the software, you literally just see the shape of that object.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. And then, being able to take something crazy and then drop it on the build plate and be able to only spray over that area. Yep. That's going to be a massive that's going to be a massive upgrade to.
Well, there's some unlocks as well, because they would, when we were making the video, they were saying to us, yeah, we get about 20 mil on the height. Sure. And then literally as we're doing those edits and we're doing voiceovers and stuff, she goes, oh, we can do 60 mil now. Yeah. And I'm like, can you though? Because it's one of those things where you know as a you know how it works, Jim, right? All of a sudden you'll get a little bit more information. You're like, is this real? Is this plausible? I haven't seen it with my own eyes. Is it BS?
Right.
And he was showing us stuff like in varnish. He was going, this is what we've got coming out next, and look at this. And the funny thing is, there's a lot of the ads that they're running at the moment where you're seeing like a butterfly or a beetle or whatever's inside of it. We were seeing that being made. That was happening while we were there, and then another crew would come in overnight and they would film on the machine. So we were seeing all of those things. So the machine that we were using, or the machines that we were using, because there are a variety of them that are there, they were filming on those machines as well. So the machines that we're getting, they're going to have a panel that comes off at the back, which is going to eventually have like an opening, like a mechanical mechanism on it. And I was saying to him, well, I prefer the magnet. And he was like, oh, we're going to put this on it. And I was like, okay, well, I prefer the magnet myself, And the other thing because I was saying about these things, I said, imagine taking a side panel off and then mounting a cutting board inside of here, and then having that as a cutting board, and then you're able to whack it back onto the machine again. And I think I think you're going to be surprised. Yeah. People are going to be using this machine for stuff you never even dreamed of in a million years.
Yeah.
And then the software then comes into play, and hey, I've got this idea how to create this thing. Are you able to make that work in software? And the unlock of that is going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Real quick, Sam, I hope you're cool with this. I just brought this up because we were talking about it, and I know that it will mean a lot to Joey too. I just want to show this quick shot.
Oh yeah,
of zero overspray. Look at that. That's cool. Only the glasses itself.
That's
Isn't that insane?
Cool. Oh
my
gosh.
That is great, dude. That is pretty awesome. When they showed me the mat and then the electrostatic bed at Murph, he's like, I got it. He comes and finds me, and Tristan is ready to go to the other building. He's done being walked around and filming. Like, he's just like, I want to go back. I want to go shoot my Nerf guns because K2 Kevin gave him a bunch of those. I want to go, over there. And Brett found us. He's like, hey, one more thing. Come here. Tristan has a stack like this thick of these of those little magnets.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed Tristan, and he like worked with Tristan this whole time, and like what
he's got a couple kids about that age himself.
Yeah, and it was so cool. I mean, like, my thing was, I can't bury that in a Murph video, so that's actually going to be a whole separate thing that I'm working on actually right now. But
I haven't got that video out yet.
Oh. Because no. Well, I'm lazy. Well, you're not editing it.
I'm gonna run away. I'm running away. I'm not a part of this. Mom and Dad are fighting.
But no, what's funny is that what was really cool is like, hey, you gotta come back one more second. He comes and we go back over there, and Tristan's like, what? And then he's like, let me show you this. And he's telling Tristan, take this paper, set it down. And he's like, oh, and he can slide it around. He's like, watch this. And he hits this button and it sticks. Yeah. And Tristan was just like, this is magic. Like, and then he tells Tristan, try to take it off. And Tristan's like trying to peel it off. It was super cool. And I wouldn't in a million years have thought to use a bed like that to do that. Or I guess in my brain, that would mess up the printing somehow, right? Because you're using that electrostatic bed. But
it's using an ink. It's not using like a powder,
Yeah.
That would be an issue if you were doing like a laser printer with powder. That would be a huge issue.
But we shot that, and he was showing us that, and I was like blown away. Like in the Murph video, I'm like why haven't you shown us that first? That's like a massive feature of this printer. Like what like, I was sort of telling him off. I was like, why are you doing this now? Why are you doing this now? Why are you doing this now? And but the funny thing is that what's clear now I spend a bit more time with him, is like, well, that's just what it does. There wasn't hey, look at this grant. Let me peel back the curtain here. That's just something that they plan to do for reasons that are, well, we don't want this to be moving off the bed. Like, duh.
Just another thing the thing does, and us, we're like, whoa, but he's like that. It's just, it does that.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty
It's
cool.
wild.
Oh, I was gonna say at the show, what blew my mind was I was like, how do you get things lined up so good? I'm like, what kind of jig are you using and stuff? He's like, oh no, you just throw it on there. And I'm like,
Yep.
like you just throw it on. And yeah, he puts something on there like all crooked and everything, and it's just like boop, like
that's the stereo vision. But the funny thing is there's two ways of doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And then we were like, so why is there two ways? Like, but because you're at that point, when it comes to software, you're like, well, you can do it this way or you can do it that way. And then he goes, it's all very much down to accuracy and what you're printing onto. So depending on what you're doing, if there's like undulation or there's there's something special about it. I mean, the other thing was we were sent some bags, and you've probably seen that on social media. So this company reached out and said, hey, we want to send you some bags. So I was like, send me some bags. So we got these bags.
We both made the mistake of letting the other person design our bag. So Sam designed mine, I designed his.
Yeah, I've got an upside down pineapple on mine.
Well, we were just testing out like the type feature. We didn't want to go through any kind of like special Photoshop designs or anything. We were just trying to do it quickly. And they have, as most softwares do, they have like a little clip art library. And I just opened the clip art library, scrolled arbitrarily, and then there's a pineapple. And I was like, oh, you're going to regret this.
Yeah. So I was thinking it was funny that I'd just call his one a man bag. And then he then went through like a Chinese load of writing and stuff, and then got one of the guys that was one of the techs there to make sure that it was definitely right. So we're running around Disneyland with like a Chinese saying, like, people are like, what's that about? Like, and I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
As Caleb's being kicked off the ride,
and to be fair,
it's the gut.
And to be fair, in China, you probably don't want to be caught with the upside down pineapple group.
Well, it might be in trouble. Or
I hear they're very friendly.
Yeah. Or you don't want to be caught with a knife. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Nice.
So I misunderstood context. Part of like the way the visa worked for me was I had to exit. Like I could not leave China mainland to go home. I had to exit through a different location or a different country, and they treat Hong Kong as if it's a different country. So that's the whole reason we went to Hong Kong, was so that I could exit. Like my visa only worked as a basically I had to prove that I had a different destination was my actual end goal, and I was just visiting China I was just passing through China on my way to that goal. So the whole reason we went to Hong Kong was because I had to fly out of Hong Kong, right? I misunderstood the way Sam was explaining it. I thought it sounded as though it was going to be treated like a normal flight, even though we were taking a bullet train. They have rules around things that can be brought on the bullet train and stuff. I thought it was going to be you go through security, you check your bag, they take it to like a luggage car or something, and then you take your carry-on into the main cabin with you. No, you take all of your luggage onto the main cabin with you, and if there's anything, so I've always traveled with this multi-tool because I use it all the time when I'm putting camera rigs together and stuff like that, and it's important, it's a useful tool, right? I travel with it all the time. I put it in my checked bag. Obviously, an airport in the US wouldn't be okay with it coming on the plane with me. So if I throw it in my checked bag, it's fine. It makes sense. So I had it in my checked bag, but in this instance, they also checked what would have been my checked bag, and immediately they were like, "What's in here? Is this a knife? There's a knife in here." And I'm like, yeah. Sorry.
I'm looking, going, see you later, Caleb. Good luck in prison.
And then there was this whole back and forth, and with Google Translate, holding the phone between our faces, like trying to communicate back and forth. I'm trying to explain to them that, it's an important thing. Please don't confiscate it. How can I get it home? And they're like, well, you can have your friend in China ship it. And I was like, okay, but it wasn't really like, and I was like, Sam, can we ask them to maybe ship it back to me? And then there was this whole thing, and then they put a tag on it. We had to send them a picture and give them an address and all this stuff. because they wouldn't ship it from the security checkpoint or whatever. They would hold it for somebody in China to come pick it up, and then they could ship it. It was just a whole thing over that tiny. It was just one knife. They pulled it out, and then they pulled out a chart that had a measuring tape on it, and they held the knife up to it to see how long the knife was according to the measuring tape, and then they just go, no.
So you caused an international incident with your multi-tool, and yeah.
I almost got arrested by a robot cop.
And then the good news was I got a photo.
Oh, you did?
Hang on, see if we can get the zoom on that. Why doesn't this zoom? Hang on, sweet point about here, right? There we go. There he is.
There's me talking to the like security or police or whatever.
And then he nearly got arrested by the why is this not?
Oh yeah. The robot cop.
Come on.
There you go. Nah.
What?
It's getting my face in the background.
What's up with that?
What'd you do, Caleb?
It's a robot cop.
It was fairly odd, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, it literally it was literally like the from the knees up, like torso of a humanoid robot, but on a like little mobile go-kart platform with red and blue lights flashing on it. Yeah, and it had arms and everything, and it was just rolling around. RoboCop.
That's
dude.
Awesome. Even your knife was too fat.
Wow, no, he said it was the gut. He didn't say I was fat. Jeez, dude.
He tried to bring home Chinese frozen chicken. Yeah,
that's what it was. I was smuggling the chicken.
The Tripod says he can use that RoboCop platform.
So it looks like my dad is in the chat, and he said, I never got it confiscated in Russia, Turkey, Guatemala, or Scotland. So context behind that, it was actually my dad's Leatherman that he got on his 18th birthday, and he used to work for a like a volunteer like missionary organization when he was younger, and he flew around the world with that Leatherman like on a C-130, like visiting different countries and stuff. And then he gave it to me as a gift on my 18th birthday, which is why I wasn't like, oh, I'll just buy another Leatherman. I was like, can we get this home to me somehow?
So wait a minute.
And Morpho took care of that.
I appreciate it. Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, yeah. We messaged our contact over there that was helping us with like travel plans and stuff. And literally, we didn't even get off the train to Hong Kong, and she sent me a picture. She's like, got it. And she just sends me a picture of it sitting on her computer desk. She's like, I'll send it your way later. Nice. She just immediately got up and drove out there to grab it.
I think we need to talk about something.
Uh-oh.
Your dad, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, my camera focuses. That's crazy. I put my hand up.
It's better than you do.
Well, if I do this and I'm Joey, it's like whoop, 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 whoop.
That's true. That's true.
Hands are fine, dude.
Yeah. So let me get this straight, Caleb. Before you were born, your dad took a missionary position and traveled all around the world.
Listen.
And then you were born after a missionary position where he traveled all around the world. So it's safe to assume you were conceived while he was in the missionary position.
Oh my God.
I don't
sorry, John. I had to.
Safety Jurassic Park whistle.
Yes.
He was conceived.
But I'm assuming he still was doing that while I don't know, who knows. All right. So no.
I did not. No.
Yeah, we if we'd been there the next time, so we've got a bit of a plan moving forward, because the funny thing is I keep telling my business partner, because I still work full time as well. I was like, yeah, so I'm going to China. Wow, once in a lifetime opportunity. Then that happened that one time. Then it happened again. Then it's happened again and again and again. And it's like, this isn't going away. This is just going to be something that we're going to do. But
sure.
The important part for me was getting Caleb out to China and him having hopefully a positive experience. And that was part and parcel to the reason that I wanted to, we flew him into London because I wanted to make sure that he got into China. And because I've done that trip so many times,
I will say I will say I would have been in customs and immigration for longer than 2.5 hours because I would have been in shock over all the different like BS that we had to go through just to get somebody to answer our questions, you know?
Yeah, I was
so I'm really glad that I had somebody to travel with.
By the second hour, I was starting to get a little bit peed off that we were stuck in this room with no water or toilets or anything.
Yeah, it was in between like the initial security checkpoint and actual immigration. So like the only thing we had access to was like a little help desk where they wouldn't help us and like some seating, and that was it. It was just a big empty area.
Yeah. What happened is the woman back at Heathrow had not processed the visa correctly. So that's, they had to go and get someone down, and that guy just walked off, and we're like, what is going on? And by the time they ended up allowing us to use the bathroom, I was like, right, okay, well, that's, and I was on to Morpho saying, look, we've got some problems.
Yeah, that's right. Again, Morpho came in to save the day. What ultimately got somebody to help us out was our contact over at Morpho, the same person who ended up picking up my knife later for me. We contacted her and was like, yeah, we're having issues at the airport. And then she called the airport police and started chewing them out. And then eventually, they were like, oh, we better help this guy.
Yeah, it almost became an international incident, and then he gets caught with a knife.
Another one. Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man.
Look, I'm not here to make it easy. I'm here to make it fun.
Well, I don't want to ruin your video. You got videos coming out still. They might come out in the next couple months.
We came home. Now, granted, some of this footage was like my travel footage and like some footage of us running around and getting some behind the scenes stuff. But we came home with 673 gigabytes of footage.
Nice.
Whoa.
And that was just the bedroom times at night, or?
Yeah. That was just the blank black. That was the hours of blank black video and grunting noises.
It's just you snoring. It's Sam recording and you snoring.
Moving furniture. Yeah.
There was a moment where we'd been set up to be in the same room as each other, and I went back. Whoa! I said, no. Let me send you the Rocky Mountain video. And she was like,
that's funny.
Okay, we'll get you separate rooms. Don't worry about it.
I will say too, on the note of things that are learned to be done different next time, I don't want to 16 hours in an economy seat, center seat, by the way, it wasn't a window or an aisle, between two people, 16 hours in that economy seat between two people. I don't want to do that again.
You didn't talk
like
to
it's got to be like a higher tier seat or like a planned intentional layover somewhere where I can get up, walk around, and grab something to eat or something. Because, whoo, that was rough.
Yeah, I don't. That would be a long time in a center seat, especially in the small center seat. We did about 18 hours to Wyoming and 18 hours back. Last weekend and then this weekend. We got back last night. We went to Wyoming. Visiting my dad, my family.
I'm assuming you were driving.
We were driving.
Okay.
No, it was actually a really slow airplane.
Plane was like 30 miles an hour.
About 1,100 miles, and it took very long.
It was actually one of those old school, like goofy bikes that it's like a tandem seat bike where they all just got in a line and started pedaling, and it's got those big like wing looking things.
No. But I'm sure Lindsay felt like I was in a center seat by the time we were back. Like it was a long ride. Tristan did amazing. I have to say, man, he did really good at just chilling in the back, watching shows, playing games, like looking at scenery, whatever. By the way, he got a boombox.
Ooh.
And yes, I'm talking like 90s cassette CD, like
there you go.
Box. I found it in my dad's one of his buildings while we were grabbing something else, and I was like, Tristan's got to see this. Fully planned on leaving it there, but we didn't tell my stepmom. I get there, and my fake mom says, "Yeah, he can have this." I'm like, "What? No, wait a minute, that's not the plan." So we brought a boombox home, and he had to go today right away because we got in last night to the record store. We have a record store like across the street over here. And he bought 2 cassette tapes.
Now I'm just imagining Tristan walking around with this boombox on his shoulder with like Beastie Boys blasting, you know?
Yeah.
What cassette tapes did he buy?
What was it? It was something crazy. Elton John and I'll look it up. Yeah, it was like probably what they had
Marky
left in the store.
Cradle of filth.
They were 50 cents and like $1 or something like that. It was
50 cent. He got 50 cent on cassette.
Yeah, 50 cent. It was kicking. It was Sheryl Crow and Elton John and a blank one, all for $3.
And a blank one?
And a blank one, because he said that he knows it's a record feature.
Oh.
And you got to make yourself a mixtape when you're 6 years old in 2026.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of baller.
That's
pretty cool. You got a cool kid, dude.
CDs, and he was just dying to get a tape. And so they went and grabbed
Tristan,
here.
Yeah, Tech Jeeper says Tristan is so dope. I gotta say, one of my favorite moments of Murph was I love that Tristan is very like, wow, check that out.
We all had this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mega bass. Mega bass.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Fishing.
No, I love that Tristan is very he's very matter of fact and vocal about his feelings. You were talking about the Nerf gun that K2 Kevin gave him. I walked up and he was messing around with that thing and he lost one of the darts and he was trying to find the dart. It was like a black and white dart. And he just walks up to me, he looks at me, he goes, "I'm upset."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't find my dart." And I'm like, "Thank you for being very clear about your feelings." Like,
yeah. Andrew Rogers says, "Yeah, 100%." He's like, he was, "Dad, I'm upset. I'm missing a dart." And by the way, K2 Kevin gave him 6 Nerf guns. 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a bag full of Nerf darts too. By the way,
you should have given one to Caleb for him to bring through customs. That would have been fun.
So on the way back, we stopped, and there used to. It's a very long story. There's a lady, a little girl that used to come visit her grandparents next door to us, but her grandparents moved out by her, and they're in like northern Minnesota. But they're staying in a place that was on our direct path home. So my wife reached out and said, "Hey, can they play?" They haven't seen each other in like a year and a half or 2 years or something. Can we stop by and say hi? And they were like, "Sure, do it." And they were staying at a really cool campground. First thing we do, we get out of the car, he says hi, and then he has to show her the boombox.
There you go.
Like, I swear he had to ride with the boombox in the
dude, her little bucket hat and everything too. She's dressing the part too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He had to ride with this thing with him so he could see it on the trip home. I'm not even joking. Like, he loves this thing. Anyways,
that's awesome,
hey, real quick, I was gonna ask you, because we probably should jump into HotMakes too sometime. If you don't want to give away too much, I totally get it. Your video's coming out, and we're all gonna pretend we watch it. Watch it. That's what I meant. No. But what, if you can say, after being there, talking with them, having the experience you did, because I'm jealous. I wish I was there.
We're glad you went.
Coming back, yeah. Well, they are too.
Mom and Dad are fighting again.
Especially Disney. Go on.
I love you. Yeah. K2 the enabler. Yeah.
Hey, at least if you went to Disney with us, I would have had somebody to hang out with when they kicked me off the ride because my gut was too big.
Right. This is true. Let's see. One of those guys called the missionary.
Dude, I love that.
Anyways, so if you can say, machine specific, coming back after spending a bunch of time with it, what was your favorite or one of your like favorite things about it after being able to spend that much time with it?
Oh my God. I mean, there's so much. I think for me, like, you typically would buy a product because it's been sold into you. And typically what you'll have is you'll see something online. Maybe you'll see a company video, and then you'll go searching on YouTube. And this is certainly what I do. If I'm going to buy a camera or a piece of tech or whatever, and ultimately this is what we do as content creators. And then depending on what that person says, maybe you'll go, yeah, that aligns with me, or it doesn't align with me, or maybe you go and view, 4 or 5 different other people. And I think here's the thing for me is that when I first got into talking about it, I was like, okay, so it's just another UV printer. And then when you see the engineering passion behind it. And this is important because it's very much engineering first, marketing 4 or 5 steps down the line.
Yeah.
You know, this is an engineering
That's cool
example of a product. And not only that, the guy behind it, and he's shy, right? Brett is a shy dude and he's being pushed into the limelight, you know, and it's important that he does that. But anybody you speak to, whether it be online or in person or whatever, he will answer you directly. If you go onto their Facebook site, he is answering questions himself,
right,
because he cares. And that really shows. And it's very, very unusual to see that. And I believe in
something else that stood out to me in that kind of similar vein too is I made a comment about like, oh yeah, we'll make sure that, and you know, I don't want to show anything that we're not allowed to show. I want to make sure that you guys like take a look at this before we send it out or whatever. And he just kind of looked at me bewildered a little bit, and he's like, "There's nothing you can't show. What do you mean?
That's
like,
awesome.
You don't have to worry about that."
Yeah.
There was almost like an innocence to him. I think is probably the best word. You know, it's kind of like, what? And I'm like, because I'm so used to people saying to me, you know, X-Horse is a really good example. We go and do the shoot, you know, it appears that everything's open and ready to rock and roll. Everyone's happy. You know, we filmed everything everywhere. It goes into edit. And then they came back with like 6 pages of, hey, can we make sure that isn't shown? There's a cable with this, you know, and I'm going, whoa, hold on a minute. This was supposed to be, you know, fully open. We're talking about minute things that people are just not going to care about. And if they ask about it, then we answer a question. It's invoking a reaction. You know, you're getting comments on your video, whatever.
Right.
And they were like, well, you know, we weren't happy with that, and we could have done this better. And And I'm going, all right, okay, this is weird. But Morpho were just like, hey, walk into this room, which is basically an office building. We've built you a set, and the set, like, I was
unexpected.
Like, oh, didn't realize there was going to be a set.
Had our favorite coffee like ready to go for us, like
it was. You know, again, we've done these trips enough times to go, hey, you know when if you ever done anything with bands, they normally come with a rider. You know, like all the Smarties have got to be blue or whatever. It's kind of like, hey, well, I like this, and we run on coffee, so if that could just happen, and as I say, our contact down there has been exceptional. And I can't give her enough thanks, because everything that kind of even the flight changes, like it was 8 o'clock in the morning her time, like 1 o'clock in the morning my time, and I'm like, hey, there's a problem. And she's like, okay, I'm just with people at the moment. I went, Caleb can't get on the flight, and she was straight on to Caleb immediately. What's going on? Let's rebook, let's get this sorted out. Bang. So, you know, and this is no reflection to the product, this is a reflection to the people,
right?
And you know, and as I came on to, you know, people buy from people, and I would, you know, would you buy from X company where you've got no passion, you've just got strong marketing, but I think I think where they're going to win on this is the people, and understanding where those people play such a huge part in this product. And Brett cares, you know, like the reasoning behind why he built this product is, again, very innocent, and I think innocence is definitely the way forward. And it, you know, it didn't strike me as like, cool, give me your money, go on, buy one, mate. You know, it was none of that. It was just wonderfully pleasant. And
so machine wise though, what's your
just buy it right now. Like, if you're not
just buy it right now. What I mean is, like, what was your favorite thing to use, or tool, or like something you guys used that maybe we wouldn't have seen at Murph or didn't get a chance to play with?
Okay, so basically
the camera system was better than what I've seen on other machines, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the live view was exceptional. Time lapsing again, you know, and he was like, oh wow, I haven't seen time lapsing on a UV printer, and he goes, we've just come up with it. I was like, okay then.
That's awesome.
But you know, there's just a lot of tech in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, we did coins, we did on material, we did, you know, the plastics. We were like, what else can we find to print on? And you get to that point where it's like you're looking around going,
we were looking around trying to find things to print on.
Like today, and this is funny, because usually like a product would arrive and I'd be like, okay, so what am I going to... Today at work, I was finding laptops and phones and other things that I know this machine is turning up tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm going to be printing on that, and I'm excited to do short form. I'm excited to do long form videos on it. I'm going to do it because I think this is going to be a real winner. And with HotMakes, I kind of, with that original video, I was like, this is a business in a box, because if you've got the creative mind,
right,
you can utilize that tool to make money, right? And really, that's the.
I mentioned him multiple times while we were there too.
Yeah, and
dude has got nothing but ideas.
Yeah, and then you start going into, well, what can I? If you've made something, well, how can you improve upon that? Is it by putting a logo on it, or putting a serial number, or there's a ton of stuff that these things could be utilized for, and it's still really exciting. And this isn't, no point in we sort of demonizing any of the other products. The other products are where they're at, but this is the product I'm behind, and it's because of the people, and I share that passion, wholeheartedly with those people. Am I still using the HotMakes? Yeah, I was, and I still would have been if the head isn't blocked up on it. So I've got to fix that. But and I'm sure when the Morpho arrives, there's probably going to be some teething problems. You can be expecting that.
Right.
But I can tell you now, today, I've already gone into some sort of VIP group of engineers. If I do have a problem, they're going to deal with it straight away. And as you know, Jim, support for most businesses is kind of touch and go, right? But I don't think I've ever been put into a specialist group ahead before the machines even arrived. That doesn't.
One of the interview questions you asked him was, how are you going to be building? How are you going to, as production ramps up, how are you going to make sure production and support are both being built at the same time? And Brett, just without skipping a beat, he goes, "I'm going to sleep in the factory."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll just do whatever I have to."
He said, "If I've got to sleep on the floor to make sure that production's happening," he said, "I'm going to go and sleep on the floor." And I think I made
to make sure production and support, neither of them are being dropped.
Yeah,
the Brit Jim's son. Real quick, I know. What's up, Ryan? I know this has been asked a couple times. I think Mike C8108 earlier said, how much confidence do you have in the no cleaning fluid aspect of the Morpho? I know Brett gave me like a 10-minute talk about why they developed their inks and the cleaning fluid and all this stuff at Murph. But after you guys have been there, how do you feel about that? I know he said that again here.
That also had that also went in line with one of their like main philosophies too, was he didn't like the cleaning fluid and constantly cleaning out the lines and everything was something that he saw as just like an unnecessary monetary waste.
Yep.
Well, and it's also very acidic. It's corrosive to the head. He was explaining the heads on like the HotMakes, for instance. It's not meant for what it's doing.
No.
And it's very corrosive. The ink is very corrosive, and the cleaning fluid that you clean the ink with is very, very corrosive to those heads. And
well, not only that, and they're not necessarily designed to be taken off or like maintenance very easily.
Right. And these are
that's another thing that Brett wanted to focus on really big, is like you can maintenance the head. Swap out parts.
And the other thing is you can buy the base model and then upgrade it to the pro model.
Yeah. That's really cool.
From what I've seen, like the replaceable parts on this machine, the maintenance on the machine, the SKUs, the things that you potentially could do with this machine if you wanted to are amazing. Now, closing the unit and printing on A4, that's a big win, because typically if you're printing on A3, you're going to be doing art pieces. But you can scan a piece of art and replicate the art. This is Star Trek sort of style stuff, right?
Sure.
All of a sudden we're replicating. What's that all about? But it'll get those deviations. The stereo system, the way that works, the vision on this is amazing. And
that'll be. You make a good point. You can scan art and recreate it, right?
Scan texture. Yeah, one of the examples they had there was a piece of bark. They took a piece of tree bark and they scanned that and printed another one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that will be questioned and misused by dumb people to recreate stuff they didn't make, and possibly copyright or whatever. But you know what? Like, we're probably all doing it. It's like if I print something, for instance, these coasters. If I do something like these. That's fan art. I bought this file. It is available for commercial use, but
But that doesn't mean the person who designed the file had permission to sell it to you.
Doesn't mean the person who designed the file did anything. So you know what? If I would have put these on Etsy, it probably wouldn't go so great, you know. But could I?
I've had a few. I got a letter from Sony on a few things on Etsy.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic case of, you know, they're making a product.
Yeah.
If people are going to start misusing it, well, you know, there's not a huge amount that they can do about that. You know, especially all of this stuff, the copyright. You know, we've had this for years. We've printed files. You put an STO out there. All of a sudden, it's free, isn't it? Because if somebody shares that, then there's no control over these things. Right. So, and there is also going to be an AI element to it as well. Because one of the big things is, I think they had like 1,000 different textures, and that was built into the software. The other thing is, you know, you don't have to send the file to the cloud. You send it directly to the machine.
Yeah, unless it's AI, right? The AI part is up in the cloud.
Well, no, but then even are we allowed to talk about that? The on machine thing that we were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be software driven, isn't it? So,
yeah.
I mean, this is the funny thing, is they're still working on different elements, and
sure.
The thing is, what Brett really understood is that being offline is important to a lot of people. Not having, you know, connectivity to Chinese servers and all that stuff. He really got that, and it felt, again, there was that naivety, that kind of calmness to it. It wasn't kind of like, well, we want to have a load of servers and be, you know, managing all this. Just send it directly to your IP address. Like, what are you playing around with? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
And you know, so one of the questions we had was, what did you learn from DJI that you've managed to apply inside of Morpho? And again, you know, he came out with all this stuff of like, well, people wanted to do this direction, and with inks, we don't want to limit people using their own inks, but we might not necessarily agree with the fact that they're using something highly corrosive, highly toxic, full of VOCs, and just bad. But we also can't argue with the fact that if you've got a system in wherever you're using this to extract that out the door, so you're not breathing it in, then we can unlock that. So we're not going to limit you, but we've got to put some hazardous notices on some of these stuff. So, you know, as a normal user, and again, that's why they're using their ink. It's not proprietary. There's not. That was, you know, we've got a big issue at the minute with inks.
Well, they're coming. They have their own formula of ink, but they're making it so that you can put whatever ink you want in the refillable bottles, which is nuts. Yeah. They're not making it proprietary. Yeah. What I thought was interesting too was we didn't do any filming in there for like, you know, important reasons you can guess. But they had like a whole chemistry lab where they were formulating their own ink, and they had a couple guys in there like Jesse and Mr. White, like like formulating their own inks.
The thing is with that, Caleb, is that they weren't saying no to us. We just didn't want to film in there because it was a lab, you know, and it was messy, and they were playing around with different things. And
for most people, like for us, you can look at that and go, well, yeah, it's messy. You're formulating your own ink in this lab. But
right.
For most people, they might look at that and go, oh, well, it's dirty in there, but it really wasn't.
No, and you got to remember that's R&D as well. It's not. Yeah. It's not, you know, it wasn't their lab where they're going to be mixing the final products, you know. But we went into one room, and then all the lights in there were like tinted because they didn't want any of the UV coming off the fluorescent tubes, you know, messing with.
Speaking of Breaking Bad, it was like walking in there with the Mexico filter on.
Yeah, and then we went into like a meeting room, and there was all these Morpho machines in there, and I was like, oh wow, this is cool. We're going to come back here tomorrow and you know, film in here. And they were like, sure. We went back there the next day. Those are the machines that are being shipped out to me and you and various other people, Tripod or whoever else. Those machines were being built and packaged, ready, and then I get a notification. Oh, my Morpho printer is shipped. and here's another funny thing, Jim. You know, like when a product arrives, I've got a notification, but I never know who it's from. Right? I never know who it's from because it's some random company in Hong Kong, right? And it arrives, and sometimes it's a surprise. Or sometimes another family member can't potentially bring it into the house because it's too heavy, and a neighbor has to come around and help them in because I'm not around. I'm in China messing around in, you know, Disneyland or whatever. So, you know, but this one, I know what's turning up, and it's so rare to get that kind of correspondence. And for whatever reason, they just seem to have such an amazing team there to make this right. So I'm very confident in the Kickstarter. I mean, the thing is with Kickstarters, they're always lumpy, aren't they? You know, there's always this happens or that happens, or there's a confidence knock or whatever. But I don't feel that they're going to really have too many issues there. I think they're going to have a great we went into it, we turned up at the building, and I was like, and I'll be honest about this. I said, so when is your marketing kicking off? Because you've got like 300 people on your Facebook site. Like, you need a couple of thousand on there to really start generating some. Sure. And then the next day, I think they just switched on the button, and all of a sudden there was this kind of, if you look
they
at
immediately took that feedback, and it was implemented by the time we got there tomorrow.
And I think we had another 20,000 views on the Morpho video that I put out, and you can just see that things are now beginning to, there's an uprising, and people are starting to take note. So, pick your poison, do what you feel's right. If the machine is applicable to you and it's going to work, great. If it's not, don't do it. Don't put money into things that if you can't afford it. There's so many. I always remember with there was somebody buying a Creality product, and they said, "Oh, I've just got a new credit card, literally to buy this product." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
no. If you can't afford it, don't. Don't put yourself into that financial hardship." But again, someone else put a message up to me yesterday saying, "Are they doing a payment plan?" I don't know. I'm not. I was just there to make a video. I'm not in their department. I feel it was funny though, because Caleb and I were like, we got so on board with it. We were like, well, when we release this machine, I was like, this has nothing to do with me. I'm just making a video on it, But I'm part of the mechanism that's going on there. It's amazing. So to answer your question, I think there's too much there to not get excited about. And if there's one particular thing. I think software and the innovations that they're working on at the moment is going to be the ease of use. I think is going to surprise people.
Something that Joey, I think you and I already talked about this, but something that is still mind-boggling to me is the fact that with UV inks, typically with the white ink specifically, you always have to shake your whites. Like, shake your whites is a common phrase. Every day you got to shake your whites.
Every day.
The white ink specifically, shake the whites, because the white ink specifically has the
titanium oxide.
The pigment and the like the actual chemicals kind of like separate, and you've got to shake it to put it back together. And Morpho is just like, okay, well, we'll just have it as two separate things, and we'll have the machine mix it while it's printing. It's just, instead of having a white ink bottle that you've got to shake all the time, you just have part A, part B, and it gets mixed in the system while it's printing. And I'm like, why did not, like, these $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 machines didn't think of this? Why didn't we not think of this ahead of time or before? Like, that seems like such a simple, easy solution.
Because it costs more money to do that.
Well, okay, so that was one of the things, though, is we asked them, that we talked to them about, is like, what were some of the things that you guys did that you did something that was not necessarily easy or cheap, but it was you did the hard way because you wanted to stick to your philosophies. You wanted to stick to your ethics behind why you wanted to make this machine in the first place. And he had a couple things that he brought up that were just, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense, where they didn't go the easy marketing route. They went the difficult engineering route to make sure that they stuck to what they believed in.
Right. Yeah. 50% does that let you switch between flexible and rigids?
So there's a mix. There's a mix that they're working on at the moment, so they can be used. I mean, the way that it works pipe wise is that it will backflush it back into the ink chamber. So again, there's a lot of stuff that's sort of been left on the table here on how that works. I don't know, but they were saying that the solution that they're working on at the moment is that you're going to be able to hot swap to a different ink, and then that will just agitate inside of the chamber. And
he did say that the soft ink and the hard ink were going to be compatible, so you don't have to do a full flush.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it'll agitate inside of whatever it's doing there. It'll backwash, I guess you could maybe call it.
One of the benefits of coming up with your own chemicals.
That's right. There you go. All right. Well, I think we should hit some. We only have like 5 hot makes to do tonight. I know.
Yeah, it was a surprisingly short list. I thought maybe the like bot was broken or something like that, because usually even when we have a short list it's more than 5, but
right,
we had a lot to talk about anyway. So
Tech Cheaper just said that E1 is a quarter of cartridge to switch. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
When some of our Mamaki machines at the company I was doing, they were like, if we wanted to switch one of our big machines, our big Mamaki UV printers from hard inks to soft inks, and that required us paying for a technician from the company to come out and stay with us for 3 days to do like a whole flushing process on the machine. Like we weren't even allowed to do it ourselves, kind of thing. And it was like a 3-day process.
Whoa, what's this? Karen Chow Designs has been busy vibe coding to tag HotMakes. What?
Do what? What is that? What?
That'd be cool.
What does that mean?
Is she going to one of those big 3D printing festivals?
Oh, hey, Grendel Studios.
Yeah,
Sorry if you already talked about this, but we'll be at Open Sauce this weekend.
I
wish. I had so much fun at the last 2 Open Sauces, but that has not worked out this week.
Yeah, well, you were just in
It's
China.
weird because I'm just the camera guy, but I've had like 5 different people ask me, like, "Hey, man, are you gonna be at Open Sauce this year?"
It was, you know what? I will mention that real quick. It's been a tough year to kind of get anything done. You know, things have changed and support has changed. There's a lot of companies out there that are struggling. You know, 3D printing companies are struggling, and you know, prices are coming down. If you're in business and you understand how business works, what we're finding now is prices for 3D printers are coming down significantly, and this is very much what we would call a price war. So the more you squeeze, the less profit there is, and there's less availability for profit and funding to other people. So, you know, we've got a thing with 3D Printopia. We really want to make that work, and I think we're nearly there, Caleb. Right? You know, but it's been, you know.
Oh, and I've been having some good conversations with Heidi today about Lone Star 3D printing, 3D Expo here in August. I might be going out to that in Texas. Yep. Yeah. Not like I might, you know, just going as like a booth babe, basically. Like, it's going to be weird going to an event, not just an event, but an event that has death racers too. And I'm not like doing a filming thing, you know?
Does it feel weird?
Yeah, they're going to have death racers there.
What?
Yeah, they've got it on the schedule, and they've got a whole like section of the floor that's blocked off for races.
Without the real Sam Prentice?
Is this? Did you find out about this just now?
Yeah, I've got no idea. No.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
All right, we're gonna have to talk. Yeah, because I was like, I thought that part of, like one of the things that I was looking forward to was seeing how that goes and letting you know how it went.
The fake Sam Prentice will be there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Are you running that, Jim?
No.
Oh, okay, weird.
I didn't even know. See, I know about this event, but it's like
it's so disorganized.
Because
I'll be honest,
interesting because like the map on the website looks like it's still like half empty, even though there's a month before the event happens, and they claim that there's going to be a lot of attendees, but maybe they just haven't updated the vendor list in a while because it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot going on. But at the same time,
be schools and stuff that are coming.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, Pesley's, you know, she did try and connect me with Richard, and Richard just had no enthusiasm to do anything. And there was, you know, then Snapmaker reached out and said, "Hey, should we do some stuff?" And I'm like, "Listen, you know, we've just come off the back of a 6-week filming schedule. I think I've done 45,000 miles over the past couple of weeks, and you want to give me this lastminute.com? No, that it's just, you know, it sort it out. You know, whatever you're doing, sort it out, because if you want to run these things and you want to do it well, you know, if you look at things like the dragsters are almost dead because Scott left that for someone else to deal with, and no one's taken it. So, you know, listen, you can do whatever you want. I've got no issues with people running death races and stuff, but running it well and having the support and the people behind it, that's really what this is all about. So no, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I didn't know you didn't know that. Yeah, there was
no idea.
And the only reason I was like considering, or the only reason I'm trying to go, is because it would be really it's only like 5 hours away from Little Rock, so it's just a convenient little drive down there.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Let me know how it goes.
Oh, I was planning on it.
Yeah, there's a company up by us that's done a couple of Death Racer battles in the last month.
That's cool.
Lux Layers, and They just did one this past weekend at a big Iola car show.
Yep.
And they did another one at like a Strawberry Fest, I think. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think we should jump into these hot makes. I know it's getting late.
Yeah, let's check them out.
2 a.m. for Sam, so let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. Ooh, I wonder.
Ooh.
Oh, that did not help. Oh, did it? Maybe.
What was
I don't know. I was trying to make the pictures bigger.
All right. Big.
What?
You ever watch Monk?
No. Wow, it's been a long time. Wow.
Picture go big.
Yeah. Cascade Wallet V3 from Maker World in Kiwi wood filament. There you go.
Oh, this is the wool filament.
Oh yeah.
Wool fill. That's right.
Yeah.
Wood.
We were talking about this a couple episodes ago where I was like,
last week he did he did the stuff in wool too.
That's pretty sweet.
Pretty cool.
It looks like the texture looks like a cozy sweater.
Yeah. or like fuzzy
train.
Do what?
It looks like the kind of product you can take on a train.
Yeah, as opposed to a knife.
Yeah. He says, let's see. Is a nice material choice for handled prints. Texture matters almost as much as geometry. That's a good point. Interesting. Dude, he does so much cool things. Tech Jeepers on it. Speaking of, Moco Made opened their St. Jude Play live charity auction, and Derek made these absolute stunning Hedamame headphones with handmade leather.
What?
With a handmade leather hand stand. Wow, that was a lot. Wow. Handmade leather handstand. Check that out. Dude.
The leather headband is like top notch, but then making a whole freaking leather hand to hold it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Well, never mind. It's a cool thing. I shouldn't.
No, it's really cool. I wonder if he could make a tripod a leg.
He'll have to make sure he keeps it nice and moisturized so it doesn't get dry and crackly.
What we got? K2 Kevin. This is incredible custom designed pen from a Harold Pulcher. Oh yeah, did you see this yet?
Wow. No.
Boom. There you go. The fact that you took something time to create something unique just for me means more than I can put into words. It's not only a beautiful pen, it's thoughtful personal gift that I genuinely treasure. Well, it's almost as good as chicken. That's what he's trying to tell.
Kevin needs to. This is Kevin getting a taste of his own medicine. When he just like randomly popped in with a HotMakes maker chip for no reason other than he just wanted to make one for us. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So there you go, bud. That's how it feels. People like to do nice things for nice people.
And Pez Liz says Harold's pens are amazing.
What's that made from?
The pen?
Yeah.
That's a great question. What's it made from, Kevin? Let us know.
Definitely got plastic in it.
Tech Cheaper, new project alert. Introducing 3dprintingtools.org, your free directory for community-driven 3D printing tools. With great things that people like CNC Kitchen, Joe Telling, and Chris Burlow have been creating, it was time for an ad-free directory of tools. That is pretty dang sweet. There you go.
Speaking of CNC Kitchen, did you see he updated bump map?
Yep.
Bump map, texture map. What is it called? I'm sleepy.
Oh, mesh.
Bump mesh. Bump mesh?
Yeah. I just saw it was like yesterday or day before, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Bump mesh.
Here you go. Harold
sorry, Stefan.
Handmade blanks and combines resin and filament.
Oh,
nice.
That's pretty sick.
I will mention I've been working on a tool for a few weeks, and I'm really excited to hopefully get it out here one of these days.
What, my fist?
Fist my bump.
Here we go, dude. We're pumped to see that, Joey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it about your drawers?
It is.
Yeah. Customize your drawers. Chris Perlo, daughter found this microwave Oreo cake. You got my attention. Recipe on YouTube, and it's actually quite easy and tastes amazing.
I learned about this at a previous job. It blew my mind.
You brought it up during a HotMakes.
I did.
Yeah, you like put it in a cup with water, I think, right?
Yeah, it's literally It's like I put some milk in there, but like it's soft like cake. It's just a chocolate cake. It's nuts.
That's cool. Everyone take your screenshots now. You crush the base, add the dry ingredients. This is a bunch of stuff, actually. I thought it was just Oreos. Add a center, push one extra on the center, and then microwave.
Yep. And then it's literally just like a mug with a chocolate cake in it. And it's not dry either. I don't know why, but I kind of assumed that it was going to be dry. It's just a good cake. It's nuts.
You can take late night. That's funny.
Is it nuts or cake?
Speaking of, it depends what you put in there. There could be nuts in your cake. But yeah, that I might have to try this. And maybe you know what we should do? We should have like cooking with HotMakes someday, and we should all do this.
Dude, okay.
Whatever happened to that pancake machine?
I know. I was just about to talk about that. Right. I was just about to mention that because I was chatting with the Pancake Bot guys years ago about doing a HotMakes episode where Sam gets a pancake bot, I got a pancake bot, and then Jim, Joey, this was before you, but Jim was going to get a pancake bot, and we were all just going to like set up. We were going to set up our cameras in our kitchens, and we were going to have like a cake off. And we were just going to and it was going to be the hot cakes episode.
Yeah.
And we were just going to have like little competitions throughout the whole episode. We were also going to be trying to juggle like making a pancake that looks like something with the pancake bot.
Did it go anywhere, or did it just die?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about them in a while.
That's what he says. But if you go look in his kitchen, he's got 3 pancake bots. They're like lined up on his counter.
No, that would have been super cool, but I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember it was kind of like one of those, like, the conversation hafpened, it sounded really cool, and then correspondence kind of fizzled away, and then I haven't heard anything about them in a while.
Nice. A tufting
rug bot. Tufting bot? What is rug tufting?
Rug tufting is where they use the yarn through the tufting machine onto like.
That was our hotel room on Friday night.
I know Sam was doing the same thing in his head that I was.
Oh man,
the Rug Tufters, new band name. Call it.
They were selling my deep. Okay.
It's what Sam and Caleb almost got arrested in China for. If you don't know, you can't afford it.
Well, if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, but how do they attach?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How do they attach, man?
Nice. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys had an amazing trip. Man, I'm jealous. I don't know about Joey, but I'm jealous. I wish I was there. That would have been awesome.
I can't believe the RoboCop didn't bring you guys water when you're, in between your security checks.
Yeah,
that was a different place. It's weird, but
RoboCop was at the train station after I had my knife confiscated. So.
Yeah, they were watching you. This is the thing they do. They, once you get caught doing a crime, you're criminal. All of a sudden, it's all eyes are on you. You are your security risk at that point. Drinking your Starbucks coffee, and
criminal
and having tummy troubles the entire event. My stomach did not get used to the food the entire trip.
Oh no!
We got in the lift, and you said, "I haven't had a single solid since I left the USA."
I didn't the whole trip, man.
Well,
the whole trip.
So, without getting too crazy, did you have to go in a hole? Is that the thing? Like,
no, there were Western toilets pretty much everywhere we went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang it.
No squatting.
Too much
But when we were getting on the plane from London to China, I asked Sam, it started as a joke, but then he gave me a serious answer. I asked Sam, I was like, so do you have any tips or tricks on how to use these like squatty toilets? And he said, if you're feeling sick, just go ahead and take your pants and your underwear all the way off. You don't want to get any spray anywhere. He's like, if you're feeling sick, just
yeah. It's true. It's true.
It's Caleb.
That's what Nico. Yeah, Nico just
barefoot. Oh god. Oops, sorry. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, TMI a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking real quick on Facebook Marketplace. I was wondering if they had a pancake bot anywhere.
Of all the places to find one of those, that would be really interesting.
I saw one on here once.
Also, so when it comes to 3D printers, I feel like something like a pancake. Well, I feel like something like a pancake bot or a cocoa press is something that's a 3D printer that I don't really want to buy used.
Yeah,
because I don't really know if I could trust somebody else's cleaning. You know,
it's just a flat. I mean, you could clean it.
Yeah, but it still feels weird.
There's 2 around me, confirmed.
Really?
85
like in the room right now.
$85
just off camera.
Oh, it's a 2.0.
Ooh.
2.0.
Yeah, I don't even know there.
It's a 2.0
software, I suppose, for it, if the software supported.
Look, yeah, $85.
Wow.
Great. You threw that on the stream. Now this Dan guy is going to get an influx. Everybody's going to make him offers all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, look,
Oh,
yeah. How could you go wrong with that picture?
Is that a unicorn mermaid? That's amazing.
I think so.
It appears to be
a tiger. I think
this should just be part of HotMakes. We just go on like
we go buy stuff on. Who was with me when I bought the absolutely dumb deals on? I think it was like AliExpress or something like that. I found like some Voron clones, and they were like $200 for the whole kit, everything included. I was like, yeah, this is totally fake. We're buying this live on stream.
Do you remember the infomercials for the like zoo books in the 90s? Where it was like the books you would call it was like books about animals, and it was like they had like the rainbow logo on it and everything. Yeah. I want a parody zoo book cover with that like crappy tiger pancake on the cover of the magazine.
That's your next tattoo.
All right. On that note, we should get out of here. Anything else, Joey?
Nope.
Real quick, I've been wondering about this the whole episode. What is this? You got a skull behind you on the table. Is that printed?
That was yeah, that's printed.
Okay. That's right. My bad.
Is it also a whistle? If you blow into it, does it make a noise?
I've never tried.
Well, I mean, want to see Joey make
Look
it
at us. Joey's a member of the Blowbone Club.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
All right then.
Your name.
With that being said, Caleb, anything else?
No.
Sam?
No, I'm pretty
We
tired.
didn't even touch on the Zach Freeman stuff. Didn't even touch on it.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Not even a second on that, which is fine.
I don't know what am I supposed to say?
I
don't remember most of that episode, to be honest.
Where's my slap back to that? You know, like no, it's well.
I'm not here to start like stoking the fire, you know.
Let me tell you something. If they brought back YouTube boxing, Zach Freeman would be one of the last people that I'd want to get in the room with, because he's a cool dude. And what we'll say is this, because I think it's important that we clarify a couple of points there. First and foremost, people that haven't been around death racers from the very beginning lack the knowledge as to why things are the way they are. Okay, that's it. But Zach and I had a 3-hour conversation many weeks ago, and he brought up some really good points, which were, yeah, well, you know, that's the history, but what about people that are coming into it today, which made us look at it very differently. So all of his points are totally valid. I got a lot of messages after HotMakes the last one that you guys did about, you know, what do you think, what was said.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, he's right, but this, I reiterate what we originally said, this was just supposed to be a bit of fun that started out with, 6 racers at Murph one year, and now it's turned into a whole big machine where events are putting on races that I don't even know about. So, the whole point of it, though, is to have not so much a level of control, but just to educate people and let people know where an event is having a death race, right?
Right.
And that seems to have been missed off in this case. But, as we move forward for Rocky Mountain for next year, the rules are going to change. We want to get Steve and Ryan and all the guys that are, a part of all this stuff now.
There's a death race on the schedule for Saturday and Sunday.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him. Again, it is what it is. But I'd love to be at these events. But if people don't tell me what's going on, I can't help it, can I? It's one of those things. But let me tell you one more thing. I was so adamant about Caleb having a pleasant time in China. There was a situation that I didn't tell you about, and I don't want to keep it to myself. But you
didn't tell me about?
No, I haven't told you about.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Am I gonna feel bad about this?
No. So we were sitting. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it was, but we were sitting somewhere, and like when you sort of see something in your peripheral vision, you kind of see something going on over in the corner. I was like, that's weird. And all of a sudden I saw we were dining somewhere. I saw a rat run across this kitchen counter. and I was like, I sort of zoomed in on it. I was like, oh, it looks like a rat. And it kind of ran back again. And some staff at this place kind of shooed it off. And it was kind of like, oh, I've just seen that and we're eating here. That kind of moment where I'm like,
Sam, I don't know why we had food delivered to the hotel room the entire trip. We only went to dinner once, dude. It's not a secret. I know what you're talking about.
You don't, because we also had breakfast at that hotel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So anyway, I was just
farm to table.
If you'd gone near where that situation had happened, I would have beckoned you away. But that
must have been where they were making the breakfast brisket.
There was a call that went into Morpho and then slapped back to the hotel, and I was like, there was a rat in the kitchen. What are we going to do about it? Because that is just wild. But it is what it is. But no wonder we're real, right?
One thing you didn't see in that moment was the cat. Just gonna throw it out there.
Exactly. But yeah, that was kind of bizarre. But there wasn't, was there anything in China that kind of really shocked you, Caleb? Would you say?
The bathroom smoking thing.
Yeah.
Like, technically there's signs in the bathroom that say you're not supposed to smoke in the bathroom, but the bathrooms smell like straight cigarettes. Like, and let me tell you, when I'm going through that jet lag and I got bubble guts and nothing solid has come out for 2 days and I'm in a hot sweat and I go to the bathroom and the air conditioning isn't on in the bathroom and I'm like sweating, exploding out my butt, and everything smells like cigarettes. It's not a good time, man. It's not a good time.
Oh man. You just took me back to 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago before they banned cigarettes, or 15 years ago when they banned cigarettes in bars or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't say that was like a straight shock. It was definitely one of those like, yeah, I'm definitely in a different country, aren't I? Moments.
Oh, and so we went to Camden as well while we were in London, and we went to Battersea Power Station and
Battersea Power Station, yeah,
and the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah, I got my comic book right here. So Battersea Power Station, it's an old power station, go figure. But it was converted into a shopping mall, and they kept a lot of the original building and machinery in there. And sections of the mall are actually named after like different sections of the power station. But I wanted to go there because they have the world's first and current only like standalone Transformers store.
Oh, really?
Like Transformers brand store, yeah. And they had a bunch of cool stuff, and I ended up picking this guy up. This is a Skybound Transformers Comics #1, but it's a custom, or it's a limited to just that location. That's Optimus Prime standing over the actual power station.
Right.
And they had issue 1, 2, and 3, but they weren't cheap, so I didn't get 2 and 3. But they also had like some cool artwork of like the power station itself as a giant transformer. It was just an interesting, like, unique place to go.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. And then there was a clothing company that Sam gets like a bunch of his clothes from that had a pop-up shop in there too. That was really cool.
That cool.
Good. Yeah, I went in there to don't you know who I think I am? I'm almost famous, you know, that kind of thing. And they were definitely retweet us, and I was like, yeah, with my following, don't think so. It was kind of cool. But yeah, we had, so just to paint a picture here, Caleb had about 10 hours in the UK, and we filled that time. And then we haven't even mentioned this. Then before we caught the flight, we went to my brother's house and we had an arcade afternoon for an hour, for 45 minutes.
Yeah, we just stopped. We stopped there. It was very like everything was so like new things, new locations, crazy different things. And then suddenly we were like, we parked on a side street next to somebody's house. We walked down to the corner store, grabbed a couple drinks, and then went to this guy's house and played some games on his racing sim. And it was just like a super chill couple hours before we just hopped back onto the next adventure plane. It was pretty cool.
You got to meet Joe over the road.
I got to meet Joe over the road. Yep. His neighbor who takes him to the airport all the time. He took me to the airport too.
Joe over the road.
Joe over the road. Yeah, I was like, what do I call him? Do I just call him Joe? And he's just like, Joe over the road.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. So don't forget, Morpho stream is just about to start. So if you want to finish up, and
do you know where that's going to be? So maybe I could throw a link in the.
It's on Morpho. The YouTube.
It's on Morpho.
Or the YouTube thing. Let me
Morpho tube.
Morpho.global. They are live right now.
Oh, they are live right now. Check that out. Oh, yeah. And there's Brett.
There's Brett. There he is.
All right.
He is.
I'm gonna throw a link here.
He's had his hair cut.
He has had his hair cut. Look at that.
Is this live? Is that really live?
Yeah, it's live.
That's funny.
They're in the States at the moment. So
are they
really?
Okay. We got Z and Z coming up too.
Yeah.
Z and Z are coming up as well.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like put them both on different parts of your screen.
Yeah.
You can win a Morpho. I think if they had 300 viewers or something, they were going to do a competition. So that was kind of the whole point, really.
That reminded me too, real quick. There were a couple comments about, did Caleb get a new tattoo while he was in China? No, but that was the first question. I got to work a little early this morning, and the first coworker that walked in, he was like, "So did you get a new tattoo while you were in China?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Dang it!" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We had an office bet going that you were going to come back with a new tattoo." He's like, "And I just lost."
That's awesome.
No, they are in China because Justin is there, and Justin's in China at the moment.
Is that is the other guy that's in that stream? Is that Pawnee, the other guy that was hanging out with us? Yeah, he's a good dude too.
Yeah, nice. Bittner, Justin Bittner, who someone sent me a message. Oh my god, Justin Bittner's there, and I read it as Justin Bieber's in China, and I'm like, Justin Bieber's in China? Like, why are you telling me that? Like, oh right, definitely not Justin Bieber.
Nice. All right, guys, I gotta fly. I gotta go home, and I'm gonna get the little guy in bed and all that good stuff. But
I gotta get this guy in bed.
Yeah, wow.
It's time for the honk shoe, my friends.
You put the little guy in bed every night, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Wait.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being here. Check out the Morpho stream. Check out Z and Z. Sam, thanks, man. It was great to talk to you. It's always fun to.
Thanks for. I know it's late at night for you, folks over there in the UK when you join the show. So thanks, dude.
2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Don't forget, it's awesome. And yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you. We will see you soon. Bye.
Later.
Thanks for tuning in to HotMakes.
Discover the surprisingly crisp dunk of an Oreo in ice-cold water.
But how does it attach?